for missing the class today. So in graphs, while talking about graphs, the most important thing is how you organize information. That's number one. Number two, how you present your data. Okay. Now, if you look at the question is very clearly asking you something which is unique. The question says, summarize the information by selecting and reporting only what? Only the main features and make comparisons. But we Indian students always think that we are supposed to talk about lots and lots of things. The point is you are supposed to summarize the information and you are going to select only and only the main features while talking about it. Okay. So don't speak about everything. Don't write about everything. Talk about things in a succinct manner. You can club information together. Like for example, now how can you design a template which fulfills all the criteria? So at the template which I would suggest is this: start with an intro. Right after the intro, give an overall picture. Now, overall picture is one sentence, which is like the summary of the whole question. If you were to speak just one sentence, what that sentence would be is this overall picture, right? Like here it is written, overall we can see that many facilities for easy accommodation, transportation, and entertainment were introduced in the island to attract tourists. So this is the overall picture, right? Then you talk about trends, comparisons, highlights, if there is something interesting, something important. And while giving this information, it is important to move in a certain direction, right? So it's saying most important thing is like interesting to note that facilities of swimming were introduced. So this guy is moving from left to right. So towards the eastern side, or you can say towards the left, we can see a swimming pool was constructed for swimming enthusiasts. That a reception was built. So you move from here to here, so you will find a reception. And around reception, whatever is other things they are told about. So a reception is built and in the middle of the island, and it is well connected with all other facilities for residents and so on and so forth. Towards the northern side, north means top. What is there towards the northern side? Pyre was constructed. नहीं, pyre तो south में है ना? ये गलत लग रहा है मुझे, या मैं गलत पढ़ रहा हूँ? नहीं, ये northern part. Further, a restaurant was built on the, हाँ तो restaurant ठीक है. Restaurant was built on the northern side and pyre was constructed on the southern part. So like this, we are moving in a certain, can you see that sense of direction that we are moving from left to right? Right? And that is important. Another important feature shown in the second graph is the network of footpaths. So we are talking about all those things. And then to sum up करके हमने उसकी summary बोल दी. Now this part is optional. Various tourist attractions were constructed in island without damaging the natural flora. Now see, look at this. Various tourist attractions were constructed. Is it not the same that facilities were added for transportation and everything? Can you see a bit of repetition in overall picture and summary?
Yes, sir.
So why should you write the summary?
Well, summary is a good addition if you are lacking the total word count.
Exactly. It's more of a tactical thing than an essential thing, right? You can always, that's what I said in that graph, that it's not essential to write a summary because you have already written the overall picture. All you need to do is write the summary in case you find that you lack certain words. So that's it, right? Now let's move on to the next question in the same book. Now see, this is a bar graph. ये बार बार ग्राफ वाला हमने पहले भी एक बार देखा है. Today the same question was there. right? So how to write about bar graph and how to analyze any data that you see in this. So whenever you look at a graph, look for certain patterns. Like for example, this long bar is like a rainbow, right? Moving up and then moving down. We call it as a fluctuating pattern. The second one is constantly rising pattern, right? If I draw a line, it will be a straight line. And this darkened one seems to be like a jumping, you know, what do you call exponential growth, a tick mark kind of structure. So this structure is exponential, right? Where rate of increase is very high. Now, what do these bars represent? Local call, national and international call. So there are different types of calls made using a phone. This one is local, the second one is national, international, and third one is mobile. And the data presented here is from 1995 to 2002. So you remember this 2002 phase was the one where exponential growth was experienced in mobiles, and now it's almost 22 years that mobiles are there in vogue. Can't believe this. 22 साल हो गए मोबाइल को यूज करते हुए. मतलब हम इतने बुढ़े, मतलब मैं भी, आप लोग तो खैर तब शायद पैदा भी नहीं होंगे. कोई हुआ है 22 साल का है आप में से?
Nope.
अरे मोबाइल हमारे सामने पैदा हुआ था इस जन्म में. ऐसा लग रहा है कि जैसे मोबाइल साथ में ही हम लेके पैदा हुए हो, है ना? आपको तो ऐसे ही लगता होगा. देयर वाज अ टाइम व्हेन देयर वाज नो मोबाइल. आई सॉ दैट टाइम. ओ माय गॉड, हाउ ओल्ड एम आई. बट फाइन. सो देयर वाजंट एनी, ना पॉकेट पे मोबाइल नहीं होता था. अगर फोन से बात करनी है तो एसटीडी पीसीओ होते थे. नाम सुना एसटीडी पीसीओ का? पब्लिक कॉल ऑफिस. वाह वाह. और लोगों का मतलब पूरा उसका रोजगार चलता था कि सुबह से बैठे दुकान पे लोगों ने 1-1 रुपए की चिल्लर डाली और कॉल कर करके गए, और साथ रात में गल्ला लेके गए और घर में आइसक्रीम लेके गए बच्चों के लिए. सो देयर वर दैट काइंड ऑफ बिजनेस प्रिवेलिंग इन द वर्ल्ड. वेयर तुम्हारा क्या बिजनेस है? हमारा एसटीडी पीसीओ है. अरे वाह, बहुत बढ़िया बिजनेस है. सो दैट वाज द टाइम. एनीवेज, इसने इमोशनल कर दिया. वापस आ जाओ. Point is, how do you analyze the graph? Talk about the most important feature at the beginning. Now, what is the most important feature? One with the largest numbers. Which one is the one with the largest numbers? It's the local fixed line. So you can start with that. Then talk about something which is lower than that. Then talk about something which is bilkul hi phisaddi. So you can say that local fixed line was the most um, popular phone call from 95 to 2002 to though it witnessed a fall from 1999 onwards, it still maintained its top position till the end, right? So you'll talk about that peak was observed in 1919. So it has formed a umbrella type of structure with the peak in 1999, but after that there is a fall. Then you can talk about national, international. This is again showing a rising graph, but it's kind of a linear growth. And you'll talk when you are talking about numbers, don't talk about each of these numbers. 1995, 6, 7, 8. Don't have to talk about it. You can simply talk about the first and the last number. So while at the beginning it was at 1995, it reached to around, while in 1995 it was at around 35. By whatever 2002 it reached to this number. So talk about only the last, first and the last numbers, and the rest of it could be taken as a trend. And then you can talk about the last one, that while mobile phones were the least preferred, yeah, was the least popular ones, it showed an exponential growth moving from 1996 to 2002, where while in 19, so this is actually small, but exponential growth is like a very big time growth happening here. So you cannot say that mobile phone is actually less important. right? By virtue of it going experiencing the exponential growth, it might, and it has already overtaken all other modes by now, right? So that's what I mean. You cannot really speculate here. You are supposed to write whatever is given, but that's how you analyze, and that's what this particular graph talks about. So you can read and write about it. Then there is this essay, and I'm skipping the essay. Then comes pie chart. Now, how to analyze this kind of graph? Can you give me some ideas? I'll leave it open to you, and I'm giving you like 5 minutes where I want you to check this graph on your own, and then suggest me what will you write about this one. Okay. This graph. I want you to look at it and suggest me what will you write about it.
First, it says that
Hmm.
the question says that we are comparing the data between the population trends in 2000 and the projected population in 2050. And we
Hmm.
also have the data for two different countries.
Hmm.
So both of these points are really important. We can start off with first talking about each individual country. Like we can start with the starting line, which can be the following pie charts provides data regarding the population trends in Yemen and Italy and the projected trends for the same countries in 2050. So
Yes.
that can be the first line. And then we can go into a little bit of detail about each individual country. So for Yemen, we can say the initial data suggests that there was an almost equal amount of there was an almost equal ratio of people who were of the age of 20 to 14 and from 15 to 59. And we can also talk about it like most of the population comprised of people who were under the age of 59. We
Hmm.
can go either ways with that, and then we can also say that the projecting data for the same suggests that there will be a higher number of people between the age of 15 to 59, and the younger population slightly decreases. So we can talk about it like this, and then we can do the same for Italy. Like on the other hand, in Italy in 2000, the largest share of the population was of people between the age 15 to 59, whereas 24.1% of the population was under 14, and the rest comprised of people, 24% comprised of people who are over 60, and the remaining population was built of people who are under the age of 14. Uh, However, the projecting trend suggests that there will be an increase in the number of people above the age of 60 and a steep decline of 3% or 2.5 to 3% in people who are of the very youngest age, like 0 to 14. There
Yeah.
is also a decline in the working population of 15 to 59. We can talk about the data like this, and we can give a summarizing line if we have the word limit to support it.
Yes. Yes. So you talk about one graph at a time. You start
Yeah.
with Yemen, and in Yemen also you start with the largest proportion. So you can say that the largest component or the largest portion of the population was from the age group of young people of 0 to 14 years, so you can use these kind of phrases, closely followed by 15 to 50 years, which constituted almost 56%. So one is 50, one is 46, you can always talk about it. And 60 plus years was a small group, so you don't even have to give the number. And then you can talk about projection. So some of the synonyms for projection: it is estimated to rise to, it is projected to rise to, yeah, it is speculated to reach to as high as. So speculated, projected, estimated, you can use these kind of words or uh, trend indicators for future trends, right? And as you rightly said, then you will talk about Italy. And while talking about Italy, you can draw similarities and dissimilarities. So unlike Yemen, Italy Italy had the largest population of 50 to
People are over the age of
15 to
60.
50 to close to 60 years old, 15 to 59 years, and the other two groups were 24% and 40% respectively. And then you can talk about the projections. So that's it. Just that in these kind of graphs, since it talks about future trends, you'll have to use the words which are like it is estimated to, it is speculated to, those kind of terms. But rest of the rules remain the same. Okay, so here there is an answer. Then the last question now. This kind of graph, what will you do with this? Again, 5 minutes, and we'll discuss this also. Yeah. Yes, Ashi, you can start and describe it. Let's see how you go about it.
So, sir, I was saying that it's basically about the energy consumption of fuel type in the US from 1980 to 2008. So, I would actually start in an increasing to decreasing order.
It's not 2008, it's 2030.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would actually start in an increasing to decreasing order from petrol and oil consumption
Mm-hmm.
to the hydropower. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then in the second para, the overall one, we can tell about the nuclear and renewable energies, whereas
Mm-hmm.
fossil fuel have been the dominant type.
Mm-hmm.
We can like relate to that. We have
Okay.
not thought a lot about it.
So yeah, so basically the unique thing about this graph is that it is having these years corresponding to past, present, and future, which means you'll have to use all the tenses here. You'll have to describe past trends in past tense, current trends in current and present tense, and future trends in future tense, right? So that's the challenging part of it, and how you deal with it is what makes this graph unique, isn't it? So here there is an answer. We start with introduction, which is just the paraphrase of the question itself. So instead of graph, we have said the line graph, right? Below gives information. Instead of that, presents trends of energy consumption from this period, from a 2008 report. It shows historic future, historic present, yeah, past, present, and future trends. You can say it like this also. It shows past, present, and future speculations, or past trends, present trends, and future speculations, right? From 2008 to 2030, right? And then overall picture, and you can use this kind of language. Petrol and oil is shown as prominent source. Now this covers everything. It is present, past, as well as future, and that's what you are saying. It is shown as the prominent source of energy. Since this is at the top, so you don't have to kind of talk about each of the past, present, future separately like this, right? And then you can combine information. So petrol and oil. So natural gas, it is written as petrol. You can write natural gas itself. Natural gas and oil, huh, is shown as
So
the
no,
top.
she's still talking
Sorry, sorry,
about
sorry,
petrol
sorry,
and
sorry,
oil.
sorry, sorry. Yeah, petrol and oil is shown as the top preference of US consumers. It stood at this. Okay, so this is the overall picture. And then they are coming back to petrol and oil because this is the one which is like the highest one, and giving some numbers and details of it. Further, coal and natural gas rank second in the priority list. Their trend lines overlap till 2015, after which coal's consumption is projected to go up. So from 2015, we are saying it is projected to go up because this was probably written in 2015 itself. I mean, I wrote it in 2015 or somewhere around that time. And that's why it is written like this, that it is projected to grow up to this point. Yeah, just excuse me for 1 minute. So that is the unique thing about this graph, that we are supposed to talk about present and future, past, present and future, all the three things. So we were talking about this second one, that coal and natural gas rank second in the priority list. Their trend lines overlap till 2015, after which coal's consumption is projected to go up, reaching to 30 quadrillion units by this. But natural gas is estimated to remain steady. So we are talking about this is projected to move up and this will remain steady. So as you can see, we have clubbed information. This one is at the top, this one is in the middle, and this is the last one. So we talk about it at the end. Lastly, nuclear, solar, wind, and hydropower are shown to occupy the bottom, are shown at the bottom of the rung. Yeah, are at the bottom of the rung. We can use the structure. Their consumption is estimated not to cross. So we are not talking about each of them separately. We are simply saying their consumption is not expected to cross 5%. Sorry, 5 quadrillion units. That's it. We are not talking about each of them separately. And this clubbing is important because you will get marks for this kind of clubbing where you show your ability to summarize the information. Okay. You are not supposed to talk about each of them separately. You can in one line say that their consumption is not expected to reach beyond 5 quadrillion units by 2030. That's it. Because this is more important. See, this is the takeaway. We are not supposed to describe every small point. We are talking about, we have to tell the summary and the takeaway of the graph, what you can infer from it. You know, don't say what can easily be seen. Right? So what's the story? The story is that it's not expected to go beyond 5 quadrillion units. So that's what it is. And then to sum up, as I said, is optional. You can leave it or you can write it based on your own number word count, right? So that's it. So basically what we have done today is we have gone through these 4 different graphs, and we have seen all the different types also with the help of this. We saw a picture, we also saw this bar graph, we saw this pie chart, and then we saw line chart, right? And we also saw some of the examples of future projections, current trends, combination of future and current and past, everything. So this is important. Once we have this range of different types of answers, and we know that these are the types of questions, and you know the language to deal with these types of questions, you'll feel confident about writing about any type of graph. So what is your homework? I want you to write on all these 4 graphs, except for this one, if you have written in the same way. In fact, for this also, you can write once again, considering what we discussed today, that you are supposed to move from left to right so that you maintain that direction, and that gets stuck with you. And you remember that organization is important when you are making comparisons of these kind of pictures, right? So between today and tomorrow, you can write about these 4 different graphs. I'll send you the questions as well as the answers. All you have to do is research this answer on your own now. We have discussed it, right? So when you read it, you will understand, oh, this is what it is, and then rewrite it. When you are writing it again, you can take some help from the sample answers. The purpose is not to check you, but to give an opportunity to you to practice. So once you practice using these examples, next time when you have to write, you'll write the same thing. It will become very intuitive for you to write in this manner. because you would know the design of the story. Like, how do we design the answer? When you know that, you can write any answer then. Right? That's the purpose. When we meet next, I'm going to give you a graph, a new graph, and you will have to write the whole answer on your own in the class. So it will be sort of test here. So we'll test here and see how in like 20, 25 minutes, how you write the answer to a graph. By this practice, you would have had a good exposure of writing, right? If you need some extra help, you can also go through the videos of graph which I have provided. So you would have a good content there with you, and within next 2 days you would be able to understand, I mean, do good work on this. And then we are going to meet day after tomorrow, which is Wednesday. So between today and tomorrow, you would be able to finish these graphs and the practice of the graphs, right? Any
Yes, sir.
questions? Anything that you want to ask from this?
No, sir.
Are we good? Great. So I'll share this with others as well, and we'll meet on Wednesday with the test. So you would be ready to write about any type of graph after that. ठीक है आशी? Feeling confident about the graphs?
Yes.
You will chuck the fatte in this question. Okay.
Yes, sir.
See you then. Bye
Yeah.
bye. Good day.